Hello, CloneYoshi here. What is up? Today we are going to be talking about the Wolfman. So, this is one of the first werewolf movies, not the first, but one of the first, and one of the ones that really set up the tropes of werewolves. One of the ones before this was Werewolves of London, not American Werewolf in London, but Werewolves of London. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Werewolf of London. That one was kind of bad, so they did this one, and yeah, this one really got some of the werewolf tropes on a wall. That's basically how we have werewolves now, is because of this movie. I feel like if Werewolf of London happened, it would be a bit different. The werewolves in that are kind of different. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, this movie, it's good. If you like werewolves, this is essential watch for you. It follows Larry Talbot as he becomes a werewolf. Some interesting things to note in this movie is this movie does not have a shot of the moon at all. I know a lot of people associate the moon with werewolves, but the moon's not even in this one. And the transformation doesn't happen on his face, it happens on his feet in this movie. I think a lot of people see the face transformation, which I think is in like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. It might be in some of the other ones, but I think the best one's probably Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. You can also see how crisp the film quality has become when you watch like Dracula and Frankenstein, and then this. It's like you can notice those 10 years of different filmmaking techniques. Another thing to point out is that this movie is a bit more set in modern time when it was made than Frankenstein and Dracula were, even though they do cross over at some point and some of the timeline stuff kind of gets muddled after a while, but this one's a bit more modern. I guess you could argue that Dracula and Frankenstein have been dead and for long enough for it to be modern time, but whatever, and it doesn't really matter. Continuity in these movies sequels don't really matter because this was in the time before home video was a thing. So if they were going to make a sequel, they were going to basically make it so you can watch it without seeing the first one, and then if you did see the first one, leave enough elements in that you would be like, oh yeah, that is what happened in that movie, but because like nobody would have seen this movie like after it was done in the movie theater, unless they re-released it or something, and that's the only time people would have seen like this movie or any other Universal Monster movie is in the theater at the time it came out or was re-released in theaters until what, the 80s, 90s, when VHS became a thing. And they had the humongous stockpile of Universal Monster tapes. Yeah, this was one of the first werewolf movies, and it does get some of those tropes in there that we know today, like the silver, and Wolfsbane is in this movie. Wolfsbane's one of those things that's kind of been dropped later, but it's there in some places. Then what else is in this movie? Pentagram is in this movie. This movie focused more on the pentagram and the wolf aspect of the werewolf type mythology. The cool thing about werewolves is that there's something like werewolves in every like folklore, so it really does lend itself to be movie worthy because everybody kind of gets this type of thing, like because it's been so ingrained in almost everybody's culture, these type of stories of the man who becomes a beast, the two sides of humanity type thing, the Jekyll and Hyde type thing, you know? But yeah, this movie as its own is pretty well received, I would say. I don't know how many people don't know about this movie that aren't like horror fans, so like I think most people know this movie. If you don't know this movie, I'm surprised. I know a couple of people that didn't know this movie before I told them about this movie, and I just take that as they don't watch movies or anything horror related, really. In like non-horror movies, this movie's shown up and stuff. Like it's in Sandlot in the movie theater. They're watching it in the movie theater in Sandlot. And then in Beethoven, when Beethoven turns on the TV, that's what's on. Does have like that staying power and culture, and that's cool to see. I feel like the performances are really well done. We got Lon Chaney Jr., whose dad was the Phantom, doing the Wolfman, and I feel like he does a good job. So good, in fact, that he becomes Frankenstein later. And then he becomes the Mummy, the second Mummy. There are two different Universal mummies in the original series. And there's a lot of staying power with the rest of the cast. We got Claude Rains, who was the Invisible Man, as Larry's dad. It's just a good movie, and like this sets up so many tropes. You would be surprised how many tropes it sets up. And I do wonder, if the Hays Code never existed, how much of that one trope of the monster dies at the end would be a thing? Because the monster or villain dies at the end of every like horror movie to be brought back somehow in the sequel, and I wonder how much of that would be a thing without the Hays Code. That would be interesting to see that alternate reality. I cannot talk today. It, on its own, is pretty awesome, so check it out. And if you like Universal Monsters, check out the sequels. The next movie with the Wolfman is Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, and that movie is awesome. So check that one out too. But tomorrow we're gonna be talking something like Universal Monsters. It's technically a Universal Monster movie, but it's kind of different, and some people might not consider it a Universal Monster movie. I'm not talking about Hammer movies. I am talking about something completely different, and you'll find out tomorrow. But until then, see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, what's up? CloneYoshi here. You can probably tell what day I'm filming this if you've been watching all these reviews. But anyway, I'm here to talk about the average YouTube stuff. What is up? So, if you haven't already, subscribe and then hit that bell to get those notifications so you never miss a video. And then if you like this video, like it. If not, I don't care. And then if you have anything interesting to say, post it in the comments, and then share it with your friends if you really like this video and stuff. It will help the channel grow, and yeah. So thank you for doing all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. 3-day weekend, yeah!